And let me tell you, man, the comedian that, and then like one restroom, so you have to wait for Gabriel Iglesias to use it. So, he blows that up.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny, like, as big as he was, he never broke a toilet on the road. I did.
Really? Just sitting on it?
Yeah, we were in Oxnard. And when you have to go real fast, and you put down your pants, and like, I have a problem. I've never sat down slowly on a toilet. Because I'm used to those LA Unified School District school toilets that are hard, the housing project toilets.
Uh-huh.
So when I sat, it was like, this was a hotel toilet. So my room was on top. No, my room was on top, right? So I used that toilet, and then like, water came out. So I went downstairs to Gabriel Iglesias' bathroom. What's going on? I don't know, man. I think that toilet's broken, man. You go check it out, man. There's water everywhere. So I went to go use his restroom, and there's water gushing everywhere. And
Hot breath. All right. Well, here we go. Oh, he's fixing his shirt, fixing his hair. All right. Hot Breathiverse. Welcome back to the Hot Breath Podcast. I am your host, Joel Byers, and today's guest is the true definition of a survivor in this world. Born in Mexico, immigrant here to America after 3 attempts to cross the border, he lands in the hoods of Boyle Heights. A kid with a speech impediment that now became a comedian is pretty hilarious, but his journey here is not hilarious, where he started selling merch at LA Dodgers games to then selling crack as a teen dad. After a stint in rehab, he then jumps headfirst into stand-up comedy, and the world is so much more greater for it. He won Last Comic Standing. Fun side note about that, even though he won $250,000, most of that went to his baby mama for child support, but just to show this man's true character, he was still willing to donate a lot of that money that he had left back to his neighborhood. So this guy, his success does not come without a warm heart, and he has not only had Showtime specials, HBO specials, he has Netflix show, he has his own podcast, What's Up, Fool, and now he is on the one and only Hot Breath Podcast. Bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos.
How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
Thanks for having me.
This is, I gotta say, in researching you, man, you and Miss Pat are probably, like, your stories, like, I had Miss Pat on here, and I was like, all right, her story is like, whoa. And then diving into your story, I'm just like, how is he alive? And how is he so, not only alive, but how are you so nice as well? Do you ever ask yourself that?
No. When you have Miss Pat, did she talk about, I don't know, I saw a story of her when she said that she was stealing money off the cash register and President Jimmy Carter came in?
Yeah, at McDonald's.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old was she?
She was like
60
I think
now?
she was young. I think she had 2 kids by the time she was a teenager.
Yeah, she was a teenager, wow.
She'd been shot several times.
Damn.
I mean, you've been beat up several times, and you've survived.
Well, I got beat up, but it was my fault. I started the fight. I never got beat up because someone was looking for me or a random beat down. It was so I deserved it.
But you weren't more of a cash register. You're more of a shoplifter, I guess. Was that more your scheme?
Not really like a big shop. Nah, not really a shoplifter. I got caught once in 7th grade and I quit.
Oh, that easy.
Yeah, I was not good. I was stupid. My friend, he made like a bird cage, like a box in wood shop. Mm-hmm. And we were putting candy in it and walking out. And then one day I decided to put a pack of Snickers in my folder and it got caught.
What happened? They just said give it back?
It was a family pack. It like 6 fat Snickers.
Oh, they got greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even stealing I was stealing M&Ms every day. Mm-hmm. Every day I walk in there and I take the family pack of M&Ms.
Every day? Do you still do that?
Not anymore.
No, okay.
Not anymore. Like I not even, but like I guess most arch criminals or anybody like who has stolen stuff or thought about it. Like, I was with my wife in Saginaw? No. There's a Swiss little town in California, past Santa Barbara, like an hour north. It's called Solvang.
Okay.
So it's a little 1.5 mile town, and it's all Swiss, like the Swiss Alps. A lot of Swiss people there, a lot of Swiss stores, but it's all decorated like Christmas. So it's all lit up like a winter home, even in the summer. My wife and I are walking around, and I for some reason I just turn a knob on the door. It's open.
Mm-hmm.
I could walk in there. It is open. One of these stores. Then I started. I locked it from the inside. I locked it so nobody else could open it. But then I keep walking, and we start kissing. I lean to a door, and I was telling, wow, I could break into every place in here right now.
That's where your mind goes?
Yeah,
Like,
because I'm leaning back, and I hear the door, like, barely, like, my weight was pushing it. I said, and this must be a test. Like a bait neighborhood.
that's why I didn't know.
You know, like bait car when you go in there?
Yeah.
It must be like a bait neighborhood.
And you're making out with your wife when this is happening? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm making out with her, and I lean back.
Just in a door. Like you
And
go
the
into a
door
dark
barely-
room and you're making out with
They
your
were
wife.
outside.
Oh.
They were walking around because it was like Christmas time.
Oh, that's
So
lovely.
There was Christmas trees lit up outside the neighborhood and inside the neighborhood. It was good.
And your mind, you're making out with your wife, and then your mind immediately goes to, oh, I could just rob this place.
Yeah.
Do you have to fight those urges?
No.
Like, I didn't know
but
if
they
it's like
come-
ingrained.
I felt if I was younger and unsuccessful, maybe. But I don't know, like if you ever on a road with other comics, there's always a shoplifter with you, and or there's always someone on the car that wants to eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that, but there's always somebody in the group that wants to eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So after a while, he's just eating power bars.
Oh, yeah.
Then he starts stealing power bars.
Mm-hmm. I actually did, my first little tour I did, I was a hotel minibar attendant. And my job was to clean out the expired food. So I just kept collecting all of the expired Cliff Bars. So we went on this week-long tour, and I just ate Cliff Bars the entire time.
Oh, man.
Have you done anything like that out on the road? Like just crazy, like besides, destroying hotel rooms and things like that, of course.
No, when I was working in El Paso, the headliner after radio, they took him to a breakfast place, and Texas calls their taquitos, they call everything taquitos.
Okay.
It could be a flour tortilla. They call it a taquito.
Okay.
So there's no such thing as a burrito like in Texas. There's burritos, but most of the Tex-Mex restaurants don't call it burrito. They call it taquitos. But they're Houston and El Paso and those little areas, they're big on breakfast burritos for some reason. And that's something different from where I grew up. In LA, there's only one delicious breakfast burrito, and it's called Rick's Burgers.
Rick's Burgers.
It's a chain, but if you go to Rick's, they got a badass breakfast burrito, bro. And they'll put whatever you want in it. If you want to put a pancake in it, they'll put it in there. But
You said that so like aroused, almost like we're talking about
good, bro.
a
It was
female.
so
She's like
good. It
sabrosa.
was delicious. So then, in El Paso, they have little like taco-sized burrito, flour tortillas. And let me tell you, man, the whole grill is filled with breakfast tacos. We're talking about ham and egg and cheese, potato and eggs, chorizo and egg, machaca and egg, everything. And so the headliner, he buys 30 of them, and there's like a lot. He buys more than 30 because, what's up, fool? Good. So we ate them all. I ended up after telling one of the comics, you know what, man? I'm tired of farting. I am tired of having gas. And so will everybody else. I mean, those burritos gave us so much gas.
And you're trapped in a car.
We're trapped in a condo, bro. And the green
oh,
room is nice.
yeah.
There's only one restroom. And let me tell you, man, the comedian and then like one restroom, so you have to wait for Gabriel Iglesias to use it. So, he blows that up.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny, like, as big as he was, he never broke a toilet on the road. I did.
Really? Just sitting on it?
Yeah, we were like, we were in Oxnard, And you know when you have to go real fast, you put down your pants, and like I have a problem. I've never sat down slowly on a toilet. Like, cause I'm used to those outlet unified school district school toilets that are hard, the housing project toilets. So when I sat, it was like this was a hotel toilet. So my room was on top. No, my room was on top, right? So I used that toilet, and then like water came out. So I went downstairs to Gabriel Iglesias' bathroom. What's going on? I don't know, man. I think that toilet's broken, man. You go check it out, man. There's water everywhere. So I went to go use his restroom, and there's water gushing everywhere. And this is how irresponsible I was. I didn't even like offer to pay for the toilet, or I just said sorry. And then Gabriel got charged for it.
And then Gabriel covered it.
I could just imagine him going, one of my friends broke the toilet. Sure, it was on you, fat ass.
Right. You just sat down too hard.
Down too hard.
Just like a relief, like
Yeah.
And then
I must
boom.
have not sat perfectly in a hole. I must have sat in a corner. And I'm heavier now. And then the toilet broke. I mean, the water just shot out.
How long were you on tour with a Gabriel?
We were probably in the beginning of his stand-up career, because I was doing stand-up already since '96. So I met him like in '98, and we went touring from '99 to 2003, 2004.
You just met him at like an open mic, or?
No, I had a comedy room called Wild Coyotes, formerly Tortillas, formerly Daily Planet, formerly Gotham's, and formerly Prime Cut. Same owner, changed the name, changed the menu, changed the staff, changed the prices, changed the taxes.
Wow.
He did it every year. Every time he got tired, he changed the name.
But he kept you.
No, when the comedy show was started by some gay guy named Ron Williams.
Okay.
But let me tell you, man, this guy is no Ron Williams. He's a Filipino, and he's gay. Nothing wrong with gay, but he was very snarky, you know. And he wouldn't put me up. And he was he was running stand-up comedy there. Like, he started comedy there, not me, not Jeff, not Willie. He started the comedy there. But I was a rookie, and I was like an open mic. I had to beg. I didn't know that protocol, like, the show was booked. So I just went over there, and I asked, like, hey, can I go up? He just looked at me like, snarky, nope. Like that. Nope. And I went there, man, I wanted to kick his ass.
Right.
I don't know why, but I just want to punch him in the face the way he said nope.
Is this the guy? Sorry, go ahead.
So this guy, he doesn't exist. He's like a backup singer.
Oh,
so
okay.
the Gotham's, it was called Gotham's, and it was Wednesday night. And let me tell you, it was packed. If that place held 200, there was 280 in there.
Great.
If it held 50, there was 100. You know, so that place held 90, there was 110. There was two packed. So they had karaoke after. So this guy was whack, bro. He was whack. This guy would host the show from the DJ booth.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah, so he didn't even go up and perform. He'll go,
Oh, yeah.
next up, Cherry Russell from the Comedy Store.
Like a stripper DJ,
Yeah,
like a strip
and
club
then
DJ.
He'll go up there and goes, yeah, whatever. So he had that show. Then after a while, I started going there, and this other comedian named Willie Barcena and Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia, like, he started comedy when he was 16, and he was on Nickelodeon's All That. No, Nickelodeon's Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, okay.
She was Jimmy Neutron's friend. I don't know his name, but the other guy. And he made money off that show. So that was his thing. He was young. And the other comedian, Willie, he was like doing colleges already. He was making money, like $5,000 a show at a college.
Jeez.
And he already had two on the development deal that didn't go anywhere. So he was known, but not known, like known. So those guys started hanging out there, and I started hanging around with Willie Barcena, and one thing led to another, and Jeff, somehow he muscled his way in and took Ron Williams out of the room. Like, he made friends with everybody, and Ron Williams was gone.
And then Gabriel came through that show?
Not for a while.
Uh-huh.
So was it? I think Jeff Garcia went on a Sunday night to get drunk, and he didn't know that was a gay night. And then Ron was there, I guess. So there was like a fight, or Ron ain't no punk, man. He might be gay, but he ain't no punk. I still would have beat his ass though, right? So that caused drama there, and they got rid of Jeff. So then Willie came in, and me and Willie Barcena, we ran that place for 11 years.
That's great.
I booked the shows, and he just hosted and got paid. He would get paid for hosting and for booking the show, even though I was booking the show. The budget for the comedy was $200, and he kept 100. So that was his. He kept 100 just for being there and not being there. So he kept 100 even though he was not there. Even years after he left, I was still running it. He was still getting 100.
You were like voluntarily,
Yeah.
like just.
I was getting free stage time every Wednesday.
That's incredible, man.
And but it was funny, man. I learned like comedy, like the comedian Jeff. He would tell me, "Hey, Felipe, hey, Doc, they're gonna. I want you to sign for $75 and give me 40." I said, "All right." So I would give him 40 and I keep 35. So I didn't complain. So I just kept performing every Wednesday, and then that show moved to they added 2 shows now, Wednesday and Saturday. So Jeff got into a fight with Ron, and they got rid of him. So now me and Willie had it. In 1998 or 97, Gabriel Iglesias comes in with some crazy-looking cholo. Like this guy was they call him Killer.
What?
They call him Cholo. That was the nickname, Cholo. And I liked the guy. He was cool with me.
You could probably smell your history on
Yeah,
you. He's like, this guy knows.
I liked the guy, and he walked up to me, like a thug, like pretty much trying to intimidate me. Hey, homie, my homie over here wants to do comedy. Hey, he wants to know you give him a little shot. And I said, where's your homie at? Over there, that fat fuck over there. And I looked at him and I said, well, you tell that fat fuck, if he wants a spot, he has to ask me himself, because he can't be taking you everywhere. So sooner or later, he's going to have to speak up for himself.
Boom.
He goes, you're right, homie. You're right, homie. So we went over there and talked to him, and he walked over to me like a 8-year-old boy. Hey, man, can I go epic? So I said, sure, bro. You're next. There were no other comedians there, man. They were all late. There were no other comics, so they were late.
Perfect.
So I put him up. He did like 15 of like a young comic,
Yeah.
Like you have dick jokes, and he did like voices, and all his voices were dick jokes. This is my impersonation of Marlon the Martian having sex. Mike, monk you later. Or this is my bit of those guys from MTV. Those guys, I forgot the name of the show. They're cartoons.
Beavis and Butthead?
This Beavis and Butthead giving something head,
Wow.
But they're all sexual jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But people loved it, bro. There was nothing else like that, There was only Pablo Francisco and Eric Spears, I guess. I didn't know him at the time. And they were the only ones that were doing like noises. James Anthony III or James Evans III was another guy who did like voices. And Luke Torres, he probably was the best one of all of them besides Gabriel. So check this out. He got my friend right away, and I told him, just follow me wherever I go. So we would go to places and perform, and a lot of places didn't let him go up because they don't know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was this fat guy with bad teeth. He was like not even 21 yet. He was 20. And there was one time he never hosted a show. I go, bro, I need someone to host a show. I can host it. Okay, you're gonna host the whole show. So he hosted the whole show, and then all right, bro, what happened now? You're gonna go over there, and the manager's gonna give you a slip, and it's gonna say $75 on it. Give me all of it. So it's my turn now.
Yeah, finder's fee.
So they give me all of it.
Uh-huh.
So then his pussy ass goes complaining, bro. Like, I never complained.
What?
I never complained. I never told anybody what the deal was with the money. Nobody knew. So he went to go tell Jeff, right?
Whoa. That's bold.
Like a crying little bitch. He went to go tell Jeff. And what is Jeff going to do, bro? He's 22. He's young. He's like 17, 19 years old. Gabriel's age. He goes, what the fuck, dog? You fucking don't give fat ass no money? He goes, at least when I have you signed, I give you 35, you keep 40. And I said, where is he right now? I'm like, go call him over here. So it was the three of us. And I said, man, besides me, who else have let you host or put you on shows? Who else? Me. Who has given you money? No one, right? Bro, you got a free lesson in stand-up comedy of hosting. You got to perform for about an hour, got to go try new jokes. No one is going to give you that. Don't you ever cry about money ever in your life.
It's a great lesson for all comics.
Ever cry about how much you got or nothing like this, because you're going to make money in the future.
Oh, he's made a little bit, yeah. So he was always business-minded. I guess from the jump, he was always...
Well, he had a job. No one else had a job.
Oh, okay.
He had a job at like a kiosk selling T-Mobile phones or Verizon phones or Singular phones, whatever.
Yeah. But he's in like the 1% of comedy now. Like he's like created
top 7, right?
It's incredible. Like just the empire he's been able to build.
Yeah, man.
And like, what do you is that something you saw in him early on? Is like there's something about him, or what do you attribute to that? And you've been on the road with him as well. Like, what have you learned?
I think it was
about
just
being around him?
the impersonations and all that.
Oh, okay.
People like that. Yeah, but we ended up opening. I ended up working with him, and he got on that show Nickelodeon's All That.
Mm-hmm.
And I got on a show called Que Locos in 1998, and I was on like 9 episodes, and I was a warm-up act for the show.
Okay, cool.
So whenever a comedian didn't do well or didn't show up, I was the one that was filling the spot.
Okay.
And me and Gabriel were booking the show. People don't know that. It was Roger Paul, Mike Robles, but Roger Paul only knows New York comics, and they were not going to fly no New York comics to LA. So I booked the whole show with LA comics. I'm the one that got Dami Rivera on the show.
Really? You're the plug.
I got people on that show that would have never been on any other show. Like, one time I saw Dami Rivera, he said, how could I get on these Spanish shows? I mean, I could just change my name to Herrera.
Mm-hmm.
So I yelled out, I got you on the show, and I got him on the show.
Yo, this guy's a tastemaker here.
But I used to book that show, bro. Like, I used to book that show, and I was good at it. Like, I was always good at placing people, because I used to work a security job, watching stuff. And then one day, I got the job as a dispatcher. I was saving that company money on overtime, bro. Because I was like, sometimes like a security guard is there for more than 8 hours, or he's there for 12. You got to pay him double and time and a half. So I would tell that guy, that security guard, I want you to wait there for another 2 hours, or 4 hours, an extra 4 hours. So I keep him for 12 hours, and then I have the other guy come in 4 hours early. So I covered the 24-hour shift with 2 people. They both work 12.
You should be like a manager, or you should be an agent or something.
Or sometimes, bro, there was no one else to go there, and I couldn't find nobody. I would log out of my job, put on my uniform, and go there till someone shows up.
Are there any other big mistakes comics make early on that could because like him complaining about money, and it's really like when you're starting out, and I mean even now I'm a little over 9 years into the game.
He was complaining because he didn't get anything.
Oh, getting money?
He didn't get nothing.
But it's like a lot of comics, especially now, they see the internet and they're like, "Oh, I just want to blow up." It's like, well, get good first, and like just be grateful for stage time.
I understand that. Like there's a comic who emailed me from San Antonio, female comic, and I just give her one advice. I just give you one advice. Don't ever worry about the money. because you'll never get anywhere.
Mm.
He goes, if you worry about the money, you're not going to have fun, you're not going to be successful. And she responded, oh, why are you telling me that? Because you make money? So I shouldn't be worried about the money? And she put a sad face. So I don't want to explain it to her stupid ass. So I don't have that time, you know. I just sent her the quote again. Now she could take that quote and walk up to other comedians. This is what Felipe told me. And what they're going to tell her? Yeah, he's right, stupid.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people say they're funny, but they're only funny in their hometown. Like I have a friend named Mikey O, and he's from Chicago. He books the biggest Latino shows ever, even Latin comedy shows. This guy pays cash, and he pays you before the show, all of it.
Before the show, I love those.
Like if you're paying $800, when he drops you up at the hotel, he goes, here's the money, man. I might not be around at the end of the show. Here's the money. He goes, don't bring it with you. Leave it here. He goes, there's too many people here that know you have money now. So that was cool. So he was I was asking about this comic. He goes, what's up with this comic? You think he could come? He goes, let me tell you about him. He has a Chicago Funny 30. I said, what does that mean? He goes, those 30 minutes are only funny in Chicago. Once he leaves Chicago, he's back to 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I've seen several comics like that here in Atlanta and touring around, too. Every street reference, every...
Enough about Henry Welch.
Oh!
The dangerous man in comedy. I love that guy.
Dangerous man in comedy.
That guy is so funny. He don't care, man. I'm beefing with 2 comics and a rapper.
Yeah. He almost came on here back in the day, and then he kind of shied away from it. Some people just don't want to, they don't wanna
He's
talk.
cool, but a lot of people, like, you have to baby step them and tell them what this is and how important it is to do any podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Because people listen, whether it's 100 or 20, those 20 are going to remember you.
Yeah.
And a lot of the urban comics, a lot of the older Latino comics have no idea what a podcast is. Because the podcasting is still like an American thing. And a lot of people don't even know. Like my fans, I tell them to listen to my podcast. I go, what page is that on? Or
Really?
So I really got to tell them, listen, man, I have a radio show on the internet. It's called the What's Up Food Podcast.
That's so
So
fascinating.
go look for a podcast and then look for What's Up Food. So I can't explain to them what a podcast was. I got to tell them it's internet radio.
But your fans are so engaged. Like you have like a loyal fan base that like you say something and they respond. Like that could be the goal. Should be the goal of like every comedian.
That's one thing I learned, early on from when I was hanging out with Willie Barcena, and we met. I met him briefly. What's his name? Harold Williams.
Okay.
From the big. What's his name?
Harlan
Williams.
Yeah.
And my friend told me, "Oh, bro, that guy right there." And then he pointed at Kevin James too. They were before they were famous.
Uh-huh.
He goes, "Kevin James, bro, he's like a major star on colleges. Like he was doing all the colleges." And so was Harlan Williams. And I forgot what I was going to talk about. Also, Dane Cook was like another guy that Willie told me, oh, that guy Dane Cook, man, he does all the colleges.
Yeah.
But Dane Cook did something that a lot of comedians were not doing, And he was doing this before there was an Instagram, before there was a social media, before there was a MySpace. Dane Cook would show up to these colleges with a paper that read name, name, email. What you like about the show? That's it. It was on a paper.
Mm-hmm.
And he had like everyone's emails. So whenever he'll come to a town, he'll email everybody, whether it's 500 in that town or whatever. By the time MySpace started, he was the first guy to 1 million, because he was doing the little stuff that no one else does. So when I won Last Comic Standing, I bought I have a website, and I bought this app where you could just log into my website, like join my website. So I had one of the comics hanging out outside and walking around, logging in people into my webpage. And And some of the people who are still on my webpage, I have their emails, and I send them a little newsletter, remind them I'm still around. I don't gotta do that much. I don't gotta do that anymore. I don't do it anymore, but I used to do it.
Yeah.
And you talk this to like an older comic, anybody who's like over 50, they have no idea, bro. Fuck that. Hey, that's not how Eddie Murphy did it. That's not how Richard Pryor did it. That's how Seinfeld did it, bro. They did it their way, but those comics, if they had your attitude right now, they would have never made it.
Boom. Exactly.
If Seinfeld had your attitude right now and your talent, he would quit. He would just fucking quit. Richard Pryor would have quit if he had to do an Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He goes, those guys never had Instagram, bro. They didn't have to. He goes, they were stars. He goes, they were not that mean. They had, when they were on a Tonight Show, 18 million people saw it. You do a Tonight Show now, you're lucky if 6 see it, or 2, or you'll be better off if they watch you on Hulu.
Yeah, those shows now are more just like to have a good clip to send to bookers and stuff.
That's it, bro. Nobody watching the Tonight Show. You're not going to get famous. You're going to get famous 3 ways. If you're interesting, you have a big personality, because that helps a lot. If you have a big personality and you're funny, you're going to be a star. Because a lot of people say, man, if I just get on Joe Rogan, that's it. No, that ain't going to be it. If you're not a talker, like me, I'm talking right now on this podcast. Now, if I'm waiting for him, for the host right here to ask me another question, and then I just give him a lame answer or a short answer, how far are we going to get? Mm-hmm. We're going to go through this podcast in 1 hour, and we're not going to get nothing out of it. So if you don't talk, if you have a problem speaking in public to people after a show, if you have a problem hanging out, Joe Rogan's podcast, Mark Maron, your mom's house, none of those are going to help you because you don't got it. Mm-hmm. You don't have the it factor. You know, there's a lot of people out there who don't have the it factor who still become popular because they do other stuff. You know, they write a screenplay or they do something else to help your career. Comedy, stand-up comedy now in 2019, you could just quote JFK, ask not what comedy can do for you, but what you can do for comedy. Ooh. And like now ask what the country could do for you, and what you could do for the country. The country's already here. Mm-hmm. Comedy is already here, bro.
Booming.
What can you do? You know, what are you going to bring different?
Woo. Just mic drop on that one.
For real,
Yo,
man.
That's facts. Yeah.
Like you guys comment like, there's some comics out there who are like the norm, you know, like Gerald Carmichael. Probably don't have an Instagram or a Twitter, right? Or a Facebook.
Yeah.
But you're not Gerald Carmichael. He had the Gerald Carmichael show when he had a Twitter. Then he got rid of it, right? He never had it.
No, he never used it.
He never used it.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever.
But see, he's an exception, okay? I know you're
course.
gonna think, how about this guy? He's an exception.
Mm-hmm.
The guy writes every day. He made the right connections, and you didn't.
What was the third? You said the 3 ways a comic can get famous. You said be interesting, have a big personality, and what's the third? I think you said there were 3. Hey.
Hello.
Hotel
Be
lobby.
nice. Be nice to everyone.
Boom.
Gratitude, bro. Like Jim Leland from fucking the Trailer Park Boys. You know, when you're gone and left, people are not gonna remember how funny you were. They're gonna remember the gratitude you had. You know, like, oh, you know what? Like me. Like, I would like sit at the Laugh Factory and not go up. But then I see Paul Rodriguez, and I say, well, wait a minute, he's Mexican American. How am I gonna get to know him? So I went to ask the bartender. I said, well, what does this guy drink? He drinks Irish whiskey. Is that with coffee? He goes, yeah, okay. So he came in, bro, and he sat down, and I don't drink, so I got my drink ticket, and I said, give me an Irish whiskey. I gave the guy $2, a tip. And I went to Paul Rodriguez, and I said, what's up, Mr. Paul Rodriguez? Here's your drink. And he said, thanks. And And he sits it down. So I sat down with him, and he's having his drink, and he's talking shit about the comedians on stage with me. I thought that was awesome.
That's so cool.
I
Yeah.
thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and then he's talking about this comic on stage. You know what? He's been doing those jokes for 20 years now. And then he followed the comedian that was he was doing peanuts jokes. And then, but they were not funny. Like, he wouldn't have delivered them right, I guess. And then Paul Rodriguez was up there. Hey, man, if you're going to do dick jokes, have the balls to say them. Say it. Commit. Don't try to clean it up. And that's true advice.
Okay.
Like, he was basically saying, if you're going to be a dirty comic, just be a dirty comic. Don't worry about it. Am I going to be next? Am I going to be clean next? Am I going to do I have to be clean? No, you don't. If you're a dirty comic and you have a nice personality, you'll go far. Joe Diaz has never done a clean set in his life. In his life.
Yeah.
In his life. And I remember one time I was on stage and I was bombing. He goes, fuck it. I got to get the comedians to laugh at least. So I went up there. Man, I'm sweating up here like Joe Diaz showcasing for Nickelodeon. Fool, the crowd laughs. Joe Diaz goes up on stage. And he's having a hard time too. I'm sweating up here like Felipe Esparza trying out a new joke in front of Carlos Mencia.
Hilarious. Oh my gosh. Dude. Were you cool with Carlos Mencia?
I never met him.
Oh, never. Okay.
I never had a conversation with him. It was like passing by. I don't know him at all.
Oh, okay.
I know of him. I know he's done a lot of time in between comics. But that's it.
Mm-hmm. And what you were talking about bombing, always get comics to share their like worst bomb, like getting booed or something thrown at them.
Booing, bombing happens like a lot in the beginning of your career because you don't know how to use all your weapons.
Interesting.
It's like you're a Jedi, but you don't know how to swing your lightsaber, how to work your mind, how to pick up shit. That stuff you learn on the way. Like, I still bomb, but it's not like a bomb physically where everybody goes, man, that motherfucker bomb. But I know I'm bombing. Mm-hmm. Inside, I feel it. If I have to go to a joke that I did on my first special, I'm bombing.
Yes.
Like last night,
Yeah.
I don't know what I started off with because I have a set that I'm doing on Netflix in October, and I already know it by memory. I know how to begin with it. I know how to whatever, right? But I saw like the crowd not into that shit, and I felt like a hack doing it because I already know these jokes, but they were getting laughs. But then I switched back to my other stuff. But the real bombing I've had where it was ugly was at that place, Wild Coyotes.
Okay.
And I was bombing, bro. Like, I had my notes. And then that guy, Willie Barcena, he was like a bully, like a comedy bully. Like, I guess you meet him everywhere you go. Like, it's the kind of guy that if you're up on stage, and then when you get off, he sees your set list, he rips it, bro. Get rid of these jokes, dog. Mm-hmm. But it's true. You like, get rid of them, They suck. But anyway, so I'm bombing, bro. Like I could feel that my back sweating. Like, it was already sweating. And my 5 minutes turned into, it felt like an hour.
Yeah.
I went through 20 minutes of material in 2 minutes.
Yeah, I've been there for sure.
My mouth gets dry, bro. And I'm bombing. And I'm bombing. I don't know how to get off. That's the problem with bombing. You don't know how to get off. Mm-hmm. And Willie Barcena goes up there like he's my dad. And he hugs me on the shoulder, and he goes like hand me the mic, bro. So I give him the microphone, and he walks me like off the stage, like hugging me. Crowd's dying, bro. Yeah. I'm embarrassed. It hurts, bro. Every step hurts. It's hurting, bro. And I'm up there. He has sweat on his arm.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
He goes up there, give it up for Felipe. Give it up for Felipe, man. He tried. He goes, he tried, man. That's all you could say. He tried, but he failed. he was banned for failing people. He bombed up here, man. I mean, nothing worked. He was getting laughs, making fun of me, and he was getting big laughs. Right? I was getting angry. I should fuck this fool up, right? And he was saying, man, he's Mexican, man. You people are Mexican. You show him no love. You should. That's what's the problem, man. We never stick together. You guys should have laughed, even if he said knock jokes. Right in the crowd, laughing, right? And I learned from that mess. I didn't learn that bombing, right?
Okay.
I'm stupid, I should have learned from that bombing. But it just hurt so much. And I don't know if you guys ever bomb. A bombing can last 3 days.
Oh,
bombing will last till you go up again. And if you bomb again, you might quit.
Yeah. I was just about to say that. It lasts until the next show, and hopefully you can rebound.
So this is it, bro. I bomb on Chocolate Sunday at the Laugh Factory.
Oh, I've done that.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Bomb hard.
I mean, I haven't bombed there, but I've done the show, yeah.
And what's his name? What's his name? TK Kirkland? T to the motherfucking Kirkland.
He's been on here, yeah.
He's a fool, dog. He walks. He had a homeboy with him, right? And his homeboy, like an old comic, not even a comic, which made it worse. See what happened, young brother? You were up there too long. And I'm like, I probably tell him, I only got 10 minutes. I didn't run the light. That's the worst, bombing and running the light.
Oh, dude, you're like, this will get him. You just keep pulling him.
So he goes, you were just up there too long. And then TK Kirkland told me, you're funny. But he goes, you got to know your audience or whatever, right? She said something like he said a little advice.
Hotel Lobby Podcast.
A little advice. But I forgot what he said. But he ended up being a good guy because later on in the future, he got me on 2 shows where I got paid. He got me on a Kevin Hart show he was hosting. He got me another show that JB Smooth was hosting. So he's a good guy. I mean, he knows. So he got me. But I bombed so hard. I had to redeem myself. I said, I can't walk around with this egg in my face. So I looked around. I said, bro, where's the next urban show tomorrow? Mm-hmm. He goes, oh, Scruncho. He has that show at the Hollywood Park Casino. I think I'm going there. What time is the show? He goes, 9. But they don't start that show till 10.
Of course.
Fuck, I'll get there at 9.
Right.
And I'll wait till everybody gets in. So as soon as I get there, they all knew I already bombed. I mean, they all knew I bombed. So, Felipe, you had a rough night last night. Yeah, I did. And then he goes, all right. So I did that show.
Bounce back.
And then I met a comedian named Eric Blake. So I did the same jokes. I did on Sunday, but I slowed it down, you know. I was nervous. And I killed. And then a lot of the urban comics there gave me like a lot of advice. I think Eric Blake and Scruncho told me that. And Eric Blake, he said, listen, man, when you do an urban audience, if you have a long story, try to say something silly on the way to the story, because these motherfuckers will lose your ass. So I used to have a joke where I say that I'm sneaking this girl into my house to have sex with her in my bedroom. My parents are at home, everybody's home, and my brother's sleeping in a top bunk bed. So, man, you gotta do the whole story, bro. So I went up on stage and I said like this. So I'm sticking into my house. So I told this girl, walk over my dad. So I had to walk over my dad.
Yeah.
So I had a little tags along the way to walk.
Right.
Then I started making love to her like a prison inmate. I added that. I covered her mouth, kept her mouth shut. Shut the fuck up. So that's what I learned.
Details.
But that doesn't, I bombed there, but I bombed the hardest probably in Tacoma, Washington. Because I was the headliner. And it was a bad deal. It was 2 shows. I did a show. The first show I put to get $700, okay, for 2-nighters, 1 night in Hawaii, and 1 night in Tacoma. So they got me a plane ticket, and I flew out to Hawaii. And the night before I got to see Hawaii for the first time, I met some Asian women. They were cute. I took a photo with them. I've never been to Hawaii. I ate good. I went to go do the show, bro. There was like, no lie, bro, 17 people there. And that place was like 200. And the promoter was sitting in the front with a broken leg. So every time I did a joke, I would look at him going. I did the whole 45, bro, no laughs. Then I went to my room, wanted to kill myself. So the next day, I'm waiting for them to take me to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And they take me to the airport late because they were smoking weed. And if I don't smoke weed, I wasn't smoking weed back then. So I missed my flight, Hawaiian flight.
Oh.
I talked to the promoter. Hey, man, your homie dropped me off too late. I missed my flight. He goes, well, man, talk to them, man. Tell them your mom is dying. Tell them you're getting married. Lie to them. Right? The promoter's saying that, bro. So I used the money that they gave me, half, to buy another ticket to get to, I think, California at least. So I come California, I made it to California. Then I used $200 of my money to get to Tacoma. And instead they were going to reimburse me in Tacoma. So when I get to Tacoma, I guess it's tradition, his mother invited me to eat. I never been to no urban home, no African-American house. So I'm with her with my hat. I sit down. She goes, oh, you ain't going to say hi to nobody? You invited me, woman.
Yeah.
I was never used to, so I sat down. She goes, we take hats off in this house. So I took my hat off. And they made me some fried chicken and macaroni and cheese. The chicken was delicious. The macaroni and cheese was like the last part, so it still had like the mold of the pan on it. You know what I'm talking about, right? My piece was round.
Oh, yeah, the crust.
So there was a casino like nearby where I was staying. I'm like across the street, so I went over there. And I started gambling, playing blackjack, and I won like $980. And they picked me up to the show. I went to the show. Let me tell you something. For anybody out there that's a headliner, or you're going to headline a show, or somebody calls you up and asks you, I want you to headline my room. Before you even agree to the headlining spot, you ask him, how many comedians are going to go up before me?
Ooh.
Who can I bring an opener? Who else is going to go up? What is this show going to be like? Am I going to be one comedian or a host and I go up? So I just said yes. I said yes. I didn't ask none of the questions.
Was this before Last Comic Standing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm at the Tacoma, Washington, and the whole world goes up before me. They bring up a rapper.
Oh, what?
The chef of the place goes up and shows the plate of the specials. Like he's like this. Some dumb whack ass bitch does a Def Jam rap that sucks. I hate poetry, first of all. I like poetry read. I like to read it. I don't like to be read by people with attitude, So this comedian goes up, bombs, bro. The second comedian kills. But this guy, one of those guys that has like a funny, he's on Tacoma 20.
Right.
Like his shit was only funny in Tacoma. I swear to God. But all his references was killing. Like, y'all remember Junior from the barbershop? Ah! Remember when he broke his leg? Ah! They were running around the room laughing. And then the barber was there, bro.
Oh,
so everybody's laughing at him, giving him high fives. So after that thunder, bro, I go up there try to do an hour.
They're like, who?
With Felipe, bro, you couldn't hear a taco drop. You couldn't hear a taco crunch. And I go up there, bro, and I say a joke. And some guy's heckling me. But then he goes up on stage, and we're having like a roast battle on stage, bro. right? And I said, and I looked at him, and I looked at the audience. Chris Rock was right. There's black people, and then there's all you guys. The crowd exploded, bro.
Oh, they liked it.
They liked it.
Oh.
They laughed.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, thank you, good night after that.
So it could have gone either way there.
Yeah, I said, thank you, good night.
Did you do the full hour?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Because they were heckling and yelling, all rude. And the guy wouldn't get up on stage. And I said, no, you try it. And I went up on stage, you fucking suck dick. I was heckling him.
Oh, okay.
So then I just left. I said, take me to my room. So I went over there.
Oh my gosh.
I was about to drink some tequila and forget about my sobriety. I watched PBS. I think Frank Sinatra, I don't know, he had just died or they were playing Frank Sinatra. That's live.
right,
That's what people say.
Right.
You're riding high in April, shot down in May.
Uh-huh.
But I know I'm going to play that tune when I'm back on top in June. You know, life, what it is. Life is ups and downs.
Yeah.
So I have my $900 still. So I didn't give a fuck if they paid me right there or not, right? So they take me to the airport, but I still haven't got paid for both shows. And plus, they owe me for the flight. I'm talking to the promoter on the phone. He's in Hawaii. I said, man, I'm waiting for your wife. She hasn't given me my money. Oh, she's driving to the airport right now. She's going to bring it to you. The airport? She just took it to my hotel room. Like you said, she was going to do it last night. So I'm waiting at the airport. I'm getting close to the gate. I have like 25 minutes before they start boarding. And I'm thinking, should I miss my flight or wait for my money? So I said, fuck this. So I went, got my flight, and I called them up. Hey, man, she never showed up on the flight. Oh, man, she was waiting for you. But and then I told my friend, the guy who booked me, hey, man, your friend never paid me. Oh, man, he did that shit again.
Oh. What kind of friend books you on a...
Juan Dexter, by the way.
Oh, okay.
He quit comedy. I do have his act. I'm just kidding. But anyway, Juan Dexter. So think about this.
Learned.
Lesson learned, people.
Mm-hmm.
If someone's booking you and it's going to be out of town, ask for a deposit. Even if you're a young comic like our host, it doesn't hurt. The guy offers you $500. Can you send me $200 first? I can't do the show. You're not losing $500. You never had the $500 to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was my thing from now on, asking for at least half. Because if the show gets canceled, at least I get money. And I learned, lesson learned, people. I don't give a fuck if you've been doing comedy 2 years. Once somebody offers you money, just say, if they ask you how much you want to get paid. See, that's a trick question from that guy, because always ask for more than you want. Say you only want to get paid $200, ask the guy for $600 and work your way down to what you want. You're never going to work your way up. Ever. You ask for $500, he goes, all right, here you go. Well, can I get $8? You're not going to get it. Ask for the exaggerated amount always, especially if you don't have an agent. Just say, oh, man, we can only pay you $500. Okay, does this gig include a room? Is there going to be a green room there? It's going to be a hotel for us where we could stay at. Well, there's no hotel. You could just drive back. All right, can we have $700 then? Because we're going to need gas money. We're going to need food. If he can't do none of those things for you, don't work with that guy. You know, you're not going to lose no friend. You're gonna be better off. You're gonna save yourself a big headache.
What's the balance between getting that stage time versus getting the money, especially as you're developing as a comedian?
Well, if nobody's offering you any gigs, just keep doing stand-up comedy.
Just wherever, whenever.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you want to make money in stand-up, I would say go to a restaurant or a bar that has the hottest Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like if that place is packed Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm pretty sure it's whack on Wednesdays. And it's weak on Tuesdays. So you tell the owner, listen, man, how about we do a Tuesday 2-for-1 comedy night? $10, 2 for 1. And you tell the owner, I'll keep the door and I'll split the door with you or whatever he agrees on. And then you just make a little bit of money. But always make sure that even if you're a young comic, try to make $50 at least for a show. It ain't a lot, but $50 is gas, bro. It's gas, it's a meal. You need it. And you get 10 shows a month for $50, that's $500. You know, you gotta figure it like this. That's how I figured out my rent. My rent was $800. My phone bill was $100. My food was for the whole month was $100 too, I guess. So you figure I gotta make $1,100 a month. All right. Now for those young comics that are trying to book yourself for comedy shows, and you need the money for next month, you could just forget about getting booked for next month. It ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Right now it's July, right? It was June 29, June 28. So July is already here. You could just forget about getting booked for July. Try to get booked for November. Wow. See, try to book your way ahead of time so you don't have to worry about December. If you could book December right now with a bunch of shows, you're going to be good, bro. And then you don't worry about December no more. Now you worry about November. You get November filled up, you got October. Now you got August, you got September, you got August, you got July, but the rest of the fall is booked. So July, you find a job, you know. August, you open for somebody, whatever. But you try to book yourself, like just a guy that's booking a show for July. Oh, we're already booked up. Okay, man, how about September? See, I'm pretty sure this asshole doesn't have September booked.
Mm-hmm. What are some ways you recommend getting booked like on these shows?
I would find out like if there's a headliner coming into town, and if you smoke weed, show up and bring that fool a fat sack.
Okay.
or offer to drive him all week. Be nice. Get in where you can't get in. Like me like with a young comic Willie, I used to drive him, bro. Like he was an alcoholic, so I would just drive his car. I would go to his house, park my car, and I would drive him around everywhere. Try to be friends with somebody that's making it, you know, somebody successful, or start a podcast. Or the best way I would say it is this: like there's a comedy club like Bonkers or a Punchline. You find out who's booking the show and ask them, man, hey bro, how about we have a Bonkers podcast? What do you mean Bonkers podcast? When you get the headliners that come in, maybe they could come in a day early and we'll promote the show on my podcast. Because people think that, they think too big, like, oh, I'm never going to be like Joe Rogan. You're right. You're never going to be like Joe Rogan.
No one's like Joe Rogan.
He started his podcast when podcasts first came out.
Yep.
He's at 1,500 episodes. Forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
But what you could do is be the hottest local podcast between a 7-mile area of your neighborhood. Like if you could be the hottest podcast in Atlanta, just in Buckhead, think about it. There's no other podcasts in this town. You could be the only one, and you sell ads to the local businesses.
Yep.
Like you could walk up to a mom and pop and offer mom and pop. Listen, mom and pop, I have 500 subscribers within 5 miles of your restaurant. Give me $200 a month, and I will promote your show every fucking podcast. That's cheap advertisement, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we did it. Our first ad was La Flor de la Reina Bakery. I told that guy, give me $500, and I'll promote your podcast for 2 months.
2 months? That's very generous.
Yeah, so we did it, and we told people, and he was our first guy, and then later on, we had a guest from that show, I'm Dying Up Here on Showtime.
Right. Yeah.
So those guys were promoting people, so they found out that we're a comedy podcast, they paid us $1,500 to interview him. We would have interviewed that person for free.
Right.
We were trying to get a hold of him, and he kept canceling. So they made him come to our podcast, and they paid us. He didn't get paid a dime.
Yo.
But see, you just gotta stick around, man.
Okay.
My friend Willie Barcena, he asked Jay Leno once, which one of your friends didn't make it? The ones who quit. Because I don't care if you're doing comedy for 25 years. If you're a nice guy, sooner or later, someone just take you under his wing. Like me, when I was struggling, even after like I got into an argument with Fluffy and we stopped talking and I stopped working with him, other comedians liked me. Like Angela Johnson, Angela Johnson, Sherry Shepherd, not Sherry Shepherd, yeah, Sherry Shepherd from The View. Like one time I walked up to her and then I told her, she asked me, how you been? He goes, not good.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me, you need money? He goes, you need help? Like we're talking, she's a millionaire, bro. Like she's been on The View. Like she offered offered me like assistance. And I said, no, I'm good. I'm good. But I thought it was the sweetest thing ever.
I've heard Russell Peters does that a lot too. Like
Yeah.
he likes to support and help out.
Man, I opened up for him, and he gave me the most money I ever got for 3 shows. And then when he gave me the money with all cash, I said, who I gotta kill? Who I gotta punch? Joe Coy? Who? Gabriel Iglesias? Who? You tell me. But very generous. He bought me a watch, and even a young comic, like the comedian Willie, like he would pay for all our meals.
Mm-hmm.
Gabriel Iglesias will always pay for all our meals. And if you're a comic, man, this is all for young comics. If you have a girlfriend and you want to do stand-up comedy, don't take trips. Don't go to Hawaii. Don't go to New York with her. Don't go anywhere with that relationship that has nothing to do with stand-up comedy.
Yep.
It's tough.
Yep.
You love her, but you know what, man? If you really love, it's like being a stand-up comic. It's like being a disciple of Jesus Christ. You gotta leave everything behind and follow me, and enjoy the riches.
And believe.
Believe, bro. You
Have
gotta believe
faith.
in yourself.
It's gonna work out.
You gotta believe in yourself, because in the end, you're the only one that's gonna believe in yourself. And be happy. You gotta be happy, bro. You gotta be happy to do this. Like I ran into in the airport, I saw Chelsea Handler, and I don't know the woman. I mean, when she was a comic at the Comedy Store, she was just some woman white girl that passes by. She's a comedian, all right. And I said hello to her. I just said the first thing that came to my mind. I just waved hi. She was passing by my seat, and I said, I love your interview on Howard Stern. You were so honest. And then she said, thank you. But if you look at Chelsea Handler's interview, if you ever look for it on Howard Stern, the first one, it really like resonates to me, her struggle and what she came from. Like, she was like the first person in her family to have a checkbook.
Whoa.
I mean, she was talking bad about her family, like they were not into it, like they were like pretty much lame. And I remember helping my mom with her checkbook, she was doing all the stuff that an immigrant kid does for their family.
To translate everything.
Yeah,
right?
her family was, I guess, not into anything, so she was working and supporting them and taking everyone else to dental appointments and all that. Whatever she was doing, she was running a household as a child. And I thought that was very impressive, That's why she's where she's at, because she knows how to manage stuff. A lot of comedians come into comedy without knowing how to manage stuff, like no skills. Like, I would say that even the comedian, the one I started off with, this guy has 12 tonight shows, bro, with Jay Leno. But he doesn't work social media. He doesn't know how to use Instagram. He doesn't know how to use none of that. But if that guy would have been the first to do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like I told you with Dane Cook. You got to know the latest. Like, if you want to learn what's new, just listen to Howard Stern. I mean, you listen to Howard Stern or any podcast as relevant like Joe Rogan or Mark Maron, you're gonna know about the latest gadgets, what to get. Learn from learn from successful comics like Kevin Hart. Like, what does he do every day? He gets up every morning. He gets on a treadmill. He works out weights. He does 5 hours of interviews. And there's a lot of comics who can't do interviews. Like, they go to radio, and they let the radio guy do all the talking, and they leave the radio station without mentioning the show, without mentioning. Word of advice for any comedian: first of all, when you get to the radio station, they don't know who you are. Okay, they have a list. Oh, you're a comedian and you've been on this. They're reading off your Wikipedia or your resume as you get there. Mm-hmm. This is what you do. We have Felipe Esparza. That's right, Felipe Esparza here, and I'm going to read the punchline this week. You say your name, and you say where you're going to be at. Mm-hmm. If you don't like the way the conversation's going, just every time they go to you, Felipe Esparza at the punchline. I learned that from Margaret's show.
Nice.
I was doing an interview with Gabriel Iglesias to promote his show at the punchline, and Margaret's show comes in. How you guys doing, Margaret's show? I'm going to be at the Woburn Theater. I'm going to be at the Warfield Theater, 8 o'clock, 2 shows. How you been, Margaret's show? I've been great. I'm going to be at the Warfield Theater, 8 o'clock. Margaret's show, 8 o'clock. And she didn't say shit.
Just put that.
But her interview. I've seen these two comedians do man cow. Mm-hmm. And man cow, he probably insult to the comedian, like, hey, you wearing makeup? And then he just stood quiet, like, no interview is going to go your way. You got to make it your way.
It goes back to you're saying one of the best ways to make it is to have a big personality.
Yeah.
Be outgoing.
You can't be lame, man.
Yeah.
Or if you don't know how to interview, go check out go to an app and go, how do I interview better? Make good answers. Like if they tell you, what do you like about school? Lunch. Don't ever answer a question like that. What you answer a question like this so the listener can know what question you answer. What I like about lunch, first of all, is lunch. I like burritos. I hate standing in line. You know, I hate when I lose my meal ticket. Mm-hmm. Details, bro. Details. I hate when you would ask a person a question and go, yeah, fuck that, dude. I want to punch him in the fucking face. Dude, if I don't get a long answer from you, you better get the fuck out the podcast.
Yep.
I hate when I got to do all the talking because people are lame. They're fucking shy. I hate it, bro. I hate when I got to do a podcast for my publicist and we have a young person who doesn't know how to do interviews. So you have a new album come out? Yeah. Okay, you fat ass. Where is it coming out at? And another thing also, if you're going to be a guest on a podcast, as soon as you get off the podcast, go tell people you're on that podcast. Mm. If you're begging to be on a podcast, one thing I hate the most is you beg to be on my podcast, and then when I post that you're going to be on my podcast with a photo, and you don't retweet it. Like I did a podcast with this guy right here. And I kept going after that comment, bro, when are you going to put the fucking podcast up? And he never even put it on his fucking page.
What?
Bro, I'm Felipe Esparza. You're nobody.
I know who you are. That's why you're here.
That's why I asked that guy. I'm no one. Uh-huh. I kept asking him, when are you going to put the podcast up? When are you going to bro, I took time to do your podcast. He never put it up. I want to kill him, bro. I wasted my time on your lame podcast and you didn't put it up? Fuck that motherfucker, bro.
Well, we're putting this
when
one
Willie
up,
Barcena kicked his ass, I was happy.
Oh, word?
But the guy I started off with, he's crazy now, bro.
Now he's crazy?
He's crazy, bro.
I assumed he was back then.
He found out that comedian was doing his joke, and he was on his way to Vegas from Corpus. He made a U-turn and went to El Paso and went to a restaurant and tried to kick his ass.
Jeez.
That's what you get, bro, for not posting that podcast fast enough. I don't understand how you can have a podcast and not post it on your page and put your lame comedy there.
I don't know. This one's going up, though, I promise. I don't want to get killed.
I hate it, bro.
What was the Fluffy situation? What were you guys arguing about? Was it business? Or?
Oh, it was business, bro, because he just say all the openers were getting $200 for the week. right? Just say, for example, but they
Okay.
were not getting that much. They were
Okay.
getting way more than that.
Okay. I was like, wait, what?
But these fools are lame, bro. Okay? And half of his act is about me, right? So he's imitating me too, right? And doing my nuisance and kind of doing my joke too. So I said, listen, man, you got to give me $25 more than these unfunny motherfuckers. But I didn't say no else, because there's no else. I'm done, you know? So he couldn't do it. So I did the next best thing, bro. What do you do when you're not happy at a job? You start fucking up. So I started getting drunk, deliberate, talking shit to him. He goes, oh, fuck, whack-ass fool up there doing the same bullshit. You know, just talking shit, bro, getting his ear, being annoying, bro. Like, to the point where I'm going to get rid of this guy or I'm going to beat his ass.
Mm-hmm.
I was just not happy anymore. And, and I don't care if anybody knows this. I'll tell you right now. When we would when we would do, like, a theater where the majority was 90% Mexican, I would only do 5 minutes on stage. When the audience was all white, I would do 35. And the other guy would do 5. So I'm doing all the time, man. We were in Cleveland, Indiana, and I did 35. Destroy that bitch. Then he goes up to do an hour. He kills 2. But then we go to San Jose. You're only gonna do 5 minutes. And I said, why? Why can't I just do 30? Are you afraid to follow that shit?
Ooh.
I said that, bro. You afraid?
said that.
I said, I don't give a fuck no more, dog. I want my $25. I said, listen, man, I'll do 5 minutes if you admit to me that you're afraid to follow me. And he just walked away. Oh, you're going to be like that? And he just walked away like a fat punk-ass little bitch, right? Maybe he was still mad that I took the whole 75.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if it rooted back from that.
I became lame. I started getting loaded and drunk and doing cocaine and being a burden to everybody. And then they got rid of me. That was that.
Yeah.
No harm done. No harm done. And we don't get along. But that's fine, man. You know, the Beatles don't talk no more, bro. You know, nobody was meant to get along. You know, you grow out of people. You know, you move on. I don't know how long we're gonna be friends, but you move on. You grow out of people.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that. And I don't hate the guy. And he was like very instrumental in the beginning of my career, and so was I to him. You know, but you move on. You grow. You get better.
Well, we have grown a lot from this interview, man. I appreciate you so much for taking the time to do this. Before we get out of here, is there anything else you want the world to know?
Yeah, we have a podcast, me and Rodrigo Torres. It's called the What's Up Fool Podcast. Sometimes Johnny shows up, and I'm going to have a show on Netflix. It's called Gentified, and I play a guy named Crazy Dave. I'm in 3 episodes. There's 10 episodes, so 3 out of 10 are bad. If it was a full season, I'd probably have more episodes. But yeah, and I have a special on Netflix. Also, I want to tell you the comics, and if you're a comic listening and you've been doing comedy for 10 years and you're funny and you want a half-hour special or you want a 1-hour special, do it yourself now, man. I mean, if you're not planning to move to California, and if you're not planning to move to New York or Chicago or San Francisco or Texas, I would say do your own special. You know, I would say, like, wait till you ask to feature for a comic that's going to sell out, and then record it at there. My first special, I recorded at the Denver Comedy Works. I put my camcorder, did 25 minutes, I made a bunch of DVDs, and sold them for $10 each. Shitty comedy.
Still had the Memorex on it, right? They were just bootleg.
A bootleg.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for a Netflix special 2 years ago, like a Comedy Central special. It never came. So my wife and I, we saved up money and we shot it ourselves. And my agent sold it for a big profit to HBO. Just say we paid $25 for it. We sold it for $5. That's how good it was.
Ooh, yeah. That's great. And your wife's your manager,
Yeah.
so it's good to have that team.
Yeah, so now, like a lot of you have a cell phone, man. You have more technology than the first astronaut that went to the moon. You could record your own special on a phone and just sell it to your fans or give it to your fans and just promote yourself, man. Have a bumper sticker, have anything, bro. Anything with your name on it. Have something for them to take, a sticker. Hey, man, follow me back.
Gold.
Yeah, man.
All right, Hot Breath of Verse. You just heard it from the man himself.
When your pocket was called Hot Breath, I thought it was for comrades who have stinky breath.
No, it's for has hot insight like you do,
yeah?
man. And based on your experience, would you mind just looking into the camera, letting them know who you are and why they should listen to Hot Breath?
What's up, fool? Felipe Esparza. I'm on Hot Breath podcast. You should listen to the Hot Breath podcast because I hope I answered some of your questions. And this podcast very instrumental for any young comic or even an older comic, and also very entertaining to hear the stories or insights on people. Yes.
Boom. I appreciate it so much.
Hell yeah.
Felipe Esparza, thanks for being on Hot
Hell
Breath.
How much time we do?
It was about hour 15.
That's
Once
awesome.
we got rolling. Yeah, thanks. Hot Breath.